Cardano, Bitcoin, Avalanche, and Coinbase's new layer 2 base. What do these four things have in common? For me, it's very simple. This is my bull market play as altcoin season approaches, as what I think will be one of the biggest bull markets that we've seen approaches. This is how it ended up for me, everybody. And I've been wondering over the years, it's been years of preparing. It's been a bear market, another bear market, just doing videos every day. How is my portfolio, my position going to come together? And it's come together quite organically. In this video, I'm going to break down each thing and talk about why I'm bullish on Cardano, Avalanche, Bitcoin and its ecosystem, and Base and its ecosystem. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. I really thought it was a good time now to just get this out there, because especially I might start doing some more content on Bitcoin ecosystem as well as Base ecosystem. I've covered Cardano, I've been covering Avalanche, but I think I'm going to start covering those things as well as things really start heating up. So let's just jump into it. Let's just start with Cardano. And by the way, before I even dive into that, this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So there's this thing in play right now post Bitcoin halving called altcoin season. And this is something that has happened previous cycles post Bitcoin halving. It's dominance on Bitcoin falling, dominance on Bitcoin falling. And there it is in 2017. Here it is in 2020, 21. And here it is in this next cycle. There's no guarantees it's going to happen right now, but I think it's coming, the altcoin season. The Bitcoin ecosystem, and now that Bitcoin has native tokens, this is such a weird dynamic for Bitcoin on this dominance chart, but we're going to talk about that in a second. But let's go over to Cardano, and let's just talk about Cardano. Cardano remains for me it's my top hold right now, by the way, but it remains for me just this incredibly bullish sleeper. And it has such vibes of last cycle around a very similar time frame post Bitcoin halving. It was down like 90 some percent. And if you just look at Cardano last cycle around 9, dipping down to around 7 to 8 cents, but hanging out in that 10-cent range, most people in the crypto space, especially then calling Cardano such a ghost chain, most people would have never imagined Cardano would go on to break $3 and see massive gains. We're talking 3,000% gains from that moment post Bitcoin halving. I truly think we're in a very similar area right now. Cardano's getting all the hate. It doesn't get much love in the space. It just is what it is. But I remain bullish on Cardano and everything that is going on within Cardano. It is so unique in that it has just this foundational layer of security, and it takes the best of both worlds from Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of security and programmability. And we have Cardano with its incredibly unique consensus mechanism. But the thing is, it has narratives. And I just talked about this in a video the other day. It has narratives that we're getting ready to go into. That is to say, Cardano native tokens going to probably start getting listed on centralized exchanges, right? That's going to be a huge narrative. And here's just a list of all these tokens. So much opportunity in the Cardano ecosystem. But then we have this decentralization. We have the Voltaire era for Cardano right now approaching. And we have the Chang hard fork that plays into all of this. Scalability for Cardano is happening, everybody. I remember Charles, the founder of Cardano, or IOHK, he said once, it's not a transaction per second chain. It's a transaction per transaction chain. And I think that's one of the things that is taking the entire industry a long time to figure out. But that one little saying, I think, is incredibly bullish for how Cardano operates and how scalability is actually going to shock the crypto space when Cardano becomes incredibly scalable and very fast. I think that's happening along with the decentralized aspect and the security aspect. These things are bullish, everybody. And if we look at Grayscale, guess what? Grayscale, it's in terms of its non-Ethereum holdings, ADA is right there in number 2. Look at Solana. They're obviously bullish on Solana. But then let's look at AVAX. AVAX number 3. And let's pivot to AVAX and talk about that a little bit. I really like, and this is really a recent move of mine, and it took me a while to make the decision, but having AVAX as an altcoin play for this altcoin season, there's a couple of reasons for it. Number one, I'm gonna tie it to Cardano. With Cardano, the charts are very similar, and even last cycle, they both just did amazingly post Bitcoin halving in the last bull market. And I think the same thing is going to happen again. They did amazingly. And the difference is, though, they move kind of differently. But one thing that I want to be brutally real about is if you look at from this exit back in October to where AVAX is right now, 327%. And if you look at, and this doesn't mean ADA is going to underperform the entire cycle, but if you look at the swing low for ADA to where ADA is right now, we're looking at 90%. There is no guarantee that that story will continue, right? AVAX just continues to outperform. I think ADA is going to have its season where it's just outperforming other altcoins and it's catching up to the pack, the likes of AVAX. But for me, one thing that was just there in the forefront of my mind as we prepare for altcoin season, if this continues and as cryptos get ready to make their next leg up going into altcoin season, because remember, I don't think altcoin season has even hit yet. We go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. I don't think it's even hit yet. But we entered that environment. If this continues, and this is just an if, but if AVAX continues to outperform ADA, and I think ADA will make nice gains, but if AVAX along that journey outperforms ADA, I want a piece of AVAX. And the thing about AVAX is this. AVAX is a different type of animal when it comes to cryptos. Their Avalanche consensus is pretty cool. One reason why I chose it, what they've been building over the years has been pretty cool to me. I've had my eye on it. But the other thing is this, John Wu, the president of Ava Labs, he's out there on the front lines. He's pushing the narrative. He's pushing the AVAX ETF narrative. He's out there shilling AVAX on TV. That's something for me. That's another play. And so when it comes to altcoins, I wanted to make sure that in terms of, obviously I'm heavily diversified into ADA and I feel great about it, but I wanted to be in another blue chip altcoin that wasn't something like Solana. And if you just look at, and we can look at CoinMarketCap really quickly. If you just look at CoinMarketCap, check out AVAX and Cardano. Cardano's number 10, Avalanche number 12. We have 14 billion market cap for Avalanche, Cardano at 16. It's going to be an interesting race for the bull cycle. I think they're both going to be awesome, but I like the fact that I have a little AVAX now. I think it's going to do well. Let's pivot and let's talk about this. Bitcoin now has native assets. So I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin ecosystem briefly. Did you know you can now mint both NFTs and FTs, fungible tokens, on Bitcoin? Bitcoin NFTs are called ordinals. Bitcoin tokens are called runes. And this is the ecosystem, everybody. It's just like every other blockchain that's launching tokens. You see Avalanche, you see Cardano, you see Solana. We have Bitcoin is the same thing happening. This is the number one chain in the world. This is the Bitcoin. This is, Bitcoin spot ETFs just got approved. Mass adoption coming in, institutions buying Bitcoin. The market cap of Bitcoin going to probably explode in the coming, not even months, but years on the macro. It has native assets, right? And so Bitcoin runes unlocking the next level of Bitcoin. This is Bybit. And you have massive exchanges that are posting about Bitcoin runes. Bow Wow, it's Dog, a decentralized meme coin launched 424 on Bitcoin's Rune protocol. I have Dog. I don't know if you saw that I was kind of early on in Bitcoin ordinals when all of these protocols started launching. Because of that, I got dropped these rune stones, which are the ordinals, and it allowed me to get some Dog. And this token has no pre-sales, no team allocations, no paid promos. And listen, this is a huge meme play of mine, and I feel comfortable talking about it because it's like around $500 million in market cap right now. But it also demonstrates a really good narrative for Bitcoin runes and why I'm so bullish on it. And this isn't the only rune that I own, but the Dog, this is Leonidas, the creator of Dog. No pre-sale, no team allocation, no gifts to influencers. It's 100% distributed, by the way. But check out this narrative right here. This just makes so much sense from a meme coin perspective and just from a chain perspective. On August 1st, 2021, SHIB only had a market cap of 3.1 billion. Then the masses started to become aware of Ethereum. That Ethereum had a dog coin. On November 1st, 2021, SHIB reached a market cap of 39.3 billion and flipped Doge. Soon the masses were here about dog coin of Bitcoin for the first time. That narrative right there is insane to me. I'm talking about it now, and check it out. Arun has just broken into the top 150 tokens. There's Dog. I'm not posting about this to shill it. but I very much am. This has become a big play of mine in this bull market. I'm not just talking about dog, okay? That's a meme coin play of mine for sure. But Bitcoin ecosystem and what's happening with runes right now, it's just something to pay attention to. It's Bitcoin. And I just don't know how else to say it. But it's going to be exciting to see what happens with runes this cycle, especially as exchanges, they're getting very bullish on Bitcoin runes and Bitcoin in general. We go over here, introducing Base, Coinbase's layer 2 network. And so we have Bitcoin, right? We have Bitcoin with native tokens. Now we have Coinbase. Coinbase is the OG. Coinbase, in terms of onboarding retail into crypto, that is the platform. They have an L2. There is no token for this. There's no Base token, but Base is an Ethereum L2 chain that offers a safe, low-cost, developer-friendly way to build on-chain. And everybody, I don't know if the algorithms are sending you this content for Base, but right now there is a huge buildup going into summer. They're calling it Base. I think it's on-chain summer by Base, and they're just going to have this massive marketing push. So evolving wallets to bring 1 billion users on chain. This was from February. Coinbase is developing a suite of wallet solutions that make it easy for developers to create simplified onboarding experiences for new on-chain users. There's no other simple way for me to say this than imagine you can very simply download Coinbase Wallet, and you can utilize and interact with Base tokens within the wallet. And that wallet, you have the ability to just connect it to your Coinbase account. All of these users are coming into the space, into the crypto space. And Coinbase is the largest doorway of that happening. Now they have their own chain, their layer 2, where tokens are launching. On-chain summer is heating up. Base now processes well over 1 million transactions per day and accounts for nearly 50% of all transactions related to SocialFi. Base is also now officially the biggest contributor to Uniswap's growth. This was a week ago. Do you realize how big of a deal that is? And this is just the beginning. This is only going to continue. Remember, Coinbase listed number 2 meme on Solana. And by the way, I don't own Brett, but this is very similar to Bitcoin. You don't think they'll list the number 1 meme on Base? You don't think every exchange is going to list Brett as it crosses into the billions this cycle? And I don't know what Brett is right now. I don't own it. But and the tokens I do own on Base, they're just too low market cap right now to talk about. If you go to Base, if you look at tokens, a lot of meme tokens, a lot. There's projects that are building, but it's very similar to Solana, but not as overwhelming. And if you're a Cardano holder out there, Cornucopias increases interoperability with expansion to Base. Check this out. Many are not a fan of this happening, Ape Society leaving Cardano for Base. But it is what it is, everybody. This crypto ecosystem is massive. For me, it's important to be not only diversified and just kind of have exposure to the broader crypto ecosystem, but just to follow these plays where my instincts say, there's going to be massive growth because there's the narrative and it just makes sense. And with Avalanche, it makes sense for me. With Cardano, it makes sense for me. With Bitcoin and native tokens now on Bitcoin, it makes a ton of sense to me. And now with Coinbase and their layer 2, it just makes sense to me. So this is really where I've landed. And if you would have asked me a year ago, this is probably, I probably wouldn't have this answer, right? Bitcoin, I think in terms of ordinals and everything that was starting to happen, I think I was in that part of the ecosystem, becoming very bullish on it. But right now it's really become clear to me as we are entering this new, very bullish era for crypto. I think these 4 plays are probably my favorite plays, and I feel really comfortable in them as well. There's always risk, but I wanted to share it with you because I'm going to be talking about all of these things more and more, and this is just where my head's at right now. Let me know what you're thinking out there, everybody. I appreciate you for cruising by. I think things are going to really be getting exciting, and I mean that on the macro. I'm not saying like tonight we're pumping or this week, but I think we're getting very close to an exciting part of the season. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you all in the next video. God bless.